I had a baby in my 40s and got pregnant naturally and easily, had a super healthy pregnancy. And that already was an adjustment because I had never experienced, for lack of a better word, ageism, but I had to stay really out of the whole medical community because everywhere I went, OBs and things like that treated me like I was sick because I was pregnant over 40 and shocked that, it happened naturally. And for me, it was this kind of the first part of the initiation into really listening to my own inner wisdom and not subscribing to what other people say in terms of how it has to be. And so I had a home birth. I had her at home. It was a journey. It was a long labor, but I had her at home. And when I was pregnant, I just felt this fierceness and this, and of course I'm a worrier. Like I worry. I have done tons of personal development work on myself, and I have just accepted this is just part of who I am. Because I spent so much time trying to not worry and not have anxiety about things. I can be super hyper vigilant about something. And I have done all the things. And finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to accept that I'm somebody who worries and I'm somebody who can be hypervigilant and I'm somebody that can have anxiety about certain things. And I just know how to work with it now. And that's one of the things, just as an aside, I tell my clients and my following is like, there's some things we change and we transform. And then there's some things we just love and accept and work with. And so that falls into the category of I love and accept and I work with it. And but overall, I had a really just beautiful pregnancy, and I had to tap into this like incredible power to birth her the way that I birthed her. And I won't go into that. You can listen to my birth story on my podcast if you're interested. But then she came out, and for the first time in a long time, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's one of the downsides about having a baby in your 40s after you're pretty well accomplished in other aspects of your life. So humbling. Because I was like, oh my God, what? Like, I mean, I know the basic things, keep her alive, love her. And because I had a fairly traumatic birth, I was dealing with, the repercussions of that. And it was just an overwhelming change. And I went from, in pregnancy, I was exercising, I was getting massages, I was sleeping well, my self-care was amazing. And then overnight, it just all goes away. It just all goes. And it's all about the child, as it should be. But like looking back, I just let my own self-care and my own self kind of go out the window because I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to take care of this child. And when Athena was born, a part of me died. And that part of me that, had freedom, could do whatever she wanted to, was like really committed to her mission and purpose and worked on it, every day a little bit, and had the time freedom to really, do creative projects and to connect with friends and to travel and to be with my husband, it died. And that was confusing because here I was just so overjoyed by having this healthy, beautiful baby girl. And at the same time, grieving my life. And having those two feelings brought up so much guilt because there were moments where I was with this new baby and I was like, oh my God, I miss just being able to sleep. Sleep is the thing that I miss the most. I got to tell you, like, I would be jealous. I'd see people driving home at night and I'd be like, oh, I bet they're going to sleep tonight. I'm so jealous. And I'd have these thoughts of like, oh, I just want to sleep. And, why did I do this? And then immediate guilt of like, oh my gosh, you can't have those thoughts. And, I'm still in it. Athena's 9 months old, but eventually I really want to talk and create a safe space for moms, especially new moms, especially moms that also like have a big career and mission, to talk about all the thoughts and the feelings that come up. Because I would get texts like, oh, aren't you in the baby bliss? Aren't you just like so blown away? Isn't your heart wide open? And I'd be like, oh, I'm not exactly feeling that all the time, 100% of the time. I'm feeling like a lot of things. And it felt wrong. Like I felt like I was a bad mom for feeling those things. And at the same time, I was really missing, my work and what I did. I still haven't quite figured out how to, I don't like the word balance because, I don't think a life is a pie chart that you can balance, but I still haven't quite found my rhythm with work and with mothering because I really love being with my daughter and I really love what I do. And when I'm working, I miss her. And when I'm with her, I miss, not all the time, but a lot of the time I miss me, because it's so much about her. And what I have had to remind myself of, because I believe that we pick our parents. And I believe that Athena knew the mom that she chose. And I think part of the reason she chose me is Athena is, I mean, even at 9 months old, she is fierce. She is opinionated. She is communicative. She is the boss. Like I have to be careful with her because she's like going to be a CEO, or something. And I know that part of the reason she picked me is because, I am a leader in my own right. And I have something that matters to me. And I want to model that for her. And I think it's something that so many women go through, of like finding that rhythm of being in our purpose and being in our dharma and being a mother. And I don't separate motherhood from my purpose. I actually believe it's part of it. But there are certain parts of my work and my job that require me to not be with her 24/7. And I've had to also reconcile that's okay, because I found an amazing person for her to be with when she's not with me. And the whole raising a child in a village, we've lost essence of that. And there's this pressure on mothers, especially, that like attachment-based parenting, you have to be with your child all the time. And maybe that works for some children, but I don't know that that's works for all children 100% of the time. And that's another thing I've really had to put in my, pocket as a mother, in terms of my tools that I'm gathering, is that what works for one child doesn't work for every child. And I'd find myself comparing myself to other mothers and how they're doing things and feel bad that I wasn't doing it that way. But then I had to come back to, wait a second, but you can't apply a one size fits all approach. And I know that because I've worked with thousands and thousands of people, adult humans, not baby humans. And there's not a model or structure that I can put everyone through, so why would I put that on a child? But just to wrap it up, it's been the biggest transition of my life, my husband's life, our relationship. It's a beautiful one too. It's good to be humbled sometimes. It's good to not know what you're doing.